Jai Gurudatta. Jai Gurudatta. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatye Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Gurudattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Sachidananda Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Recap of yesterday's discourse by Pujya Shri Swamiji. In yesterday's discourse, Pujya Shri Swamiji began by discussing the Ramchandrapuram, which consists of moral stories narrated by sage Markandeya in the Markandeya Puranam. This particular narrative focuses on the lineage of Lord Rama, tracing it back to Lord Surya. The previous story of Kaninetra conveyed the lesson of not harming any creatures for personal gain when performing rituals. In the story, Kaninetra conducted a rigorous penance to please Lord Indra, ultimately receiving the gift of a child. Now, let's delve into the story of Balashva, who is a son of Kaninetra. He is a skilled master of Astra-Shastras and a brave young boy. After his father's ascent to the heavens, he took over the throne and ruled justly. However, other kings who were initially subordinate to him eventually turned against him and embraced unrighteousness. They seized his kingdom and engaged in multiple battles even after he went into hiding. Overwhelmed by these challenges, Balashwa wept, and from his tears emerged a formidable army that helped him reclaim his kingdom. And this happened due to the penance that he performed. Following this victory, Balashwa came to be known as Karandhama and continued to govern his realm virtuously, earning respect across the three worlds. He administered justice and punished those who strayed from the path of righteousness, illustrating the principle that those on the righteous path receive divine assistance, as the five elements themselves depend on dharma. With this, the Kaninetra Charitra is concluded. Next is the story of Avikshita. As we delve into it, once a royal princess called Veera was having her Swayamvara, that is, a ceremony where the girl gets to choose her groom. Virya Chandra is her father. King Karandhama arrived there and she liked him and gave him the garland. Soon after, she became pregnant and the rituals were performed. Swamiji says that it is a good practice to perform these Shanti rituals when wife becomes pregnant. Only after 12 days and Shuddhi procedures, one should go for astrology. Until then, you should not. So, after 12 days, Karandhama asked the scholars to read the child's astrology. He asked if he was born in the right time. Does he have the good planets aligned, and how are the bad planetary influences? Swamiji says that based on our karma, the planetary influences change. This is the subtle aspect in astrology, that is Jyotisha. It is a great science. What exactly is Jyotisha? There are three lights in the sky, that is, the sun, moon, and the stars. It is the Shastra that talks about the influence of these on us. Based on the movements of planets, we must perform certain rituals to favor us to nullify unfavorable outcomes. Just like how we plan before starting a task, Jyotisha can be used similarly. Before commencing any endeavor, one can study planetary positions and perform necessary Shanti rituals to improve chances of success. These astrologers, also known as Daivagnyas in the past, shed light on what we can't see. The scholars told Karandhama that his son was born during the most favorable time and would be courageous and rule justly. They emphasized the positive influence of Guru, that is Jupiter, on his son. They also noted that the planets like Ravi, that is Sun, Mangala, Mars, and Shani, Saturn, weren't adversely affecting his son, which was a good sign. The king was delighted to hear these promising details and decided to name his son Avikshita, as the troubling planets weren't casting their gaze upon him. Swamiji says that we should pray that our children are not negatively influenced by bad planets and are blessed by the presence of good planets. There are various practices to counteract these negative influences, such as using materials like coconut, broom, green chilies and others, similar to how Yashoda Mata did for Lord Krishna. Sage Garga also recited mantras during such rituals. That's why children should wear a bottu. That means a dot on the forehead. Wearing this dot, whether it's a tilak, chandan or bhasma, this casts away the bad vision of others upon us. It is an important Hindu practice with both worldly and spiritual benefits. It's essential to wear it when going to the temple and not remove it immediately upon leaving. Erasing it with saliva is considered a serious sin. Now getting back to the story, Sage Kanva was the guru of Avikshita. He learnt all weapons and astras from that sage. He was more handsome than the Ashwini Devdas. While he was in his youth, he attended all Swayamvaras in the nearby kingdoms, and all the girls liked him. He brought all the princesses, but he did not marry anyone. Those girls who did not choose him, Avikshita, fought wars with those kingdoms, won over them and brought those girls. Once he went to a Swayamvara of Vaishali, who is also known as Bhamini, the daughter of King Vishala. She did not choose Avikshita. Avikshita captured the princess after winning a battle against other kings. So, they all attacked him collectively, leading to a fierce battle. Avikshita fought honorably, but the other kings resorted to unethical tactics, attacking him from behind, which is considered unethical in a war. He was severely wounded and lost consciousness, and he was presented before Vaishali's father. She chose him as her groom, recognizing his virtuous conduct compared to the others. Scholars were then consulted to find a more auspicious time for their marriage, emphasizing the importance of selecting the right time of significant events. Swamiji stressed the significance of adhering to the proper timing for important tasks. Then, Karandhama, Avikshita's father, learned about his defeat through unethical means. His ministers and commanders were furious, suggesting that the adharmic kings should not be spared. They advised defeating the opposing king and rescuing Avikshita from Vaishali. Others argued that Avikshita's arrogance had led to this situation and needed correction. Some also believed that a king's behavior in a Swayamvara was natural. However, Queen Veera's response was remarkable. She spoke with great determination, emphasizing a mother's fierce protection for her child. Just as Kali Mata protects the good ones from the demons and grants them liberation by her touch, she highlighted the importance of safeguarding her son. The queen exclaimed, "Why are you all still here? Don't you intend to rescue Avikshita? He was defeated through unethical means. Is forsaking righteous behavior for victory the right path?" She stressed the importance of protecting those who depend on us rather than debating their right or wrong actions. Queen Veera's message aligned with Swamiji's teachings that emphasize the need to protect and guide those in our care, whether family or relatives, as it contributes to a better society. In this context, Swamiji shared similar stories from ancient scriptures. For instance, Bhishma known for his knowledge of dharma, displayed his powers by going to Kashi Raja to secure 3 princesses for his princess, and courageously facing multiple kings alone. A similar spirit can be seen in Avikshita's case, where he was unjustly defeated and such wrongs should be set right. Swamiji emphasized that the importance of continuously reading Sundara Kanda in our lives when our spirits are low. Just as a guru provides nourishment to life, the act of reading Sundara Kanda daily is essential. With 68 sargas, that is chapters, one can read a chapter each day and even 7 chapters a day. The power of sage Valmiki's penance is embedded in these words. Swamiji highlighted how sage Narada as Guru inspired Valmiki and Lord Brahma blessed him, resulting in countless repetitions of Rama's name. Swamiji says the syllable Bha in Bharat indicates Bhagavatam, Bharatam and Bhagavad Gita, while Ra signifies Ramayana. These sacred texts extolled in our land remind us of its sanctity. Swamiji encouraged reading them with a thoughtful approach, applying their teachings to our life and considering their relevance for the future. Doing so will infuse our lives with positive energy. Now, getting back into the story, Queen's inspiring words stirred King Karandhama, leading him to wage war and defeat the Vishala king. However, upon losing, he intended to pay his respects to Karandhama. Surprisingly, King Vishala offered his daughter as a daughter-in-law to Karandhama, but Avikshita, speaking in front of King Vishala, expressed his concern that since he had lost to his enemies in her presence, he couldn't marry her. He believed she should be wed to a brave warrior who had never suffered defeat to avoid further embarrassment. Swamiji emphasized the importance of refraining from mocking or belittling others, as it can transfer their karmas onto those who speak ill. The spoken word holds great significance, especially for those who practice mantra japa, that is, chanting of Lord's name. Without the sanctity of speech, mantras may not yield results. Getting back to the story, King Vishala offered to find another match for Bhamini, but Bhamini insisted on marrying him. She admired his unwavering commitment to dharma during the battle and his victorious, righteous nature. She chose him not solely for his looks, but for his valor and adherence to dharma. She was determined to marry him, urging King Vishala to make it happen. King Vishala suggested that Avikshita should marry his daughter, Vaishali, but Avikshita declined, stating that he would send all the girls he had won in battles back to their kingdoms and remain celibate. However, King Karandhama encouraged his son to consider marrying Vaishali due to her affection for him. Avikshita did not agree, saying he had never opposed his father's wishes. Vaishali, determined to marry Avikshita, declared that if he refused, she would resort to penance. Here, Swamiji highlighted that some individuals choose not to marry because marriage can be seen as a form of bondage. However, the true bondage is ignorance, which must be overcome. He emphasized that one should not hate marriage and should move forward if it doesn't work out. If unable to do so, one can embark on a spiritual path. Similarly, Avikshita and King Kadharma returned to their kingdom, where many tried to persuade Avikshita, but he remained firm on his decision. King Vishala also departed to undertake penance, reminding us that in today's age, we can transform our lives into a form of penance and dedicate ourselves to Lord through Namasmarana, that is, chanting the Lord's name. Swamiji emphasized that this birth is the only opportunity to merge with the Lord, encouraging us not to hate this life but instead bear witness to its challenges and use it as an opportunity to transcend the cycle of birth and death. Getting back to the story, Vaishali chose to embark on a period of penance rather than criticize her life. As a princess with royal lineage, she sought permission and began a rigorous penance, even giving up food with the intention of renouncing her life. However, her intense penance drew the attention of the divine. A divine messenger arrived, and up in his presence, dried twigs sprouted leaves, flowers blossomed, life flourished all around, and Vaishali felt a profound lightness in her heart. Swamiji explained that recognizing a true guru can be marked by feelings of great bliss, tears of joy, and an involuntary desire to be with the guru forever. The divine messenger advised Vaishali not to abandon her human body, emphasizing the rarity and value of obtaining a human birth. He asked her not to perform the rigorous penance, and she will give birth to a child later. With this, Swamiji concluded yesterday's discourse. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Gurudatta.